Head up north along I-5, beyond Redding and Mount Shasta, and you will find a California landscape that will just knock you out. It's lush with trees, dripping in water, and dotted with scenic towns out of a postcard. Carloads of us travel to this part of the state each year to enjoy its delights. But some folks from parts north have an agenda that would transform the map of this state. Reporter Enna Cuevas has the story.
This is a part of the state most Californians are proud to claim. But the feeling's not always mutual.
There are multiples of people that come in here and speak to me about California this or California that. I say, I'm sorry, you're in the state of Jefferson. I says, we don't have to worry about California anymore.
Terry Brown runs a nursery in Yreka. He's part of a movement to create a new state. Take 3 parts Northern California, 3 parts Southern Oregon, throw in a newspaper, and you've got the state of Jefferson. Daniel Webster publishes the Pioneer Press.
The state of Jefferson today is an independent, free state of mind in which folks have this desire to be free, to have their own thoughts, rather than large government control, wanting that control to be down as local as it can be on an independent local level.
Though Webster and others admit the state of Jefferson is largely a state of mind today, the idea had serious legs back in 1941. Brian Peterson is one of the movement's most vocal supporters.
Here it is. November 18th, Siskiyou, Del Norte might join Curry, form Union's 49th state. November 18th, 1941. And then the other headline is Flying Tanks Nail Nazis. You don't have to go very far to find an article on Jefferson in these old archives in November and early December 1941.
The key rabble-rouser was Gilbert Gable, then mayor of Port Orford, Oregon. He and several friends in California felt they were being ignored by their respective capitals, Sacramento and Salem. They were especially up in arms about the roads in the region. They were so bad it would take all day to drive a mere 60 miles, and the rains only made it worse. Mark Dean is from the Chamber of Commerce in Yreka.
The roads were in pretty bad shape, and they felt that the roads were paved really with just promises, political promises, and they wanted them paved with something they could drive on instead.
For propaganda purposes, the secessionists made a film.
They wanted to get the trucks really stuck, and so they pulled water out of the creek and threw it onto the road.
Don Huell is a history buff.
This is the area where they set up the barricades and handed out the proclamation to the people as they came through.
Jefferson appointed a governor, levied fake taxes on motorists, and declared Yreka the capital of what would then have been the 49th state. Then, Pearl Harbor was bombed, and that was the end of the movement. But many strive to keep it alive. In downtown Yreka, symbols of Jefferson abound, like the flag flying high over Webster's Pioneer Press office.
This is the state of Jefferson's flag. It's probably the only one in existence. It was made by Brian Hell's for us down there on the Klamath River. The 2 X's stand for we won't be double-crossed. And it's that feeling and that notion here in the state of Jefferson that we're not going to let big government double-cross us.
Though there's a certain amount of tongue-in-cheek attitude about Jefferson, even from its proponents, the underlying ideas are serious.
The Greenies say that the Klamath River is the last wild river in the United States.
A rural region that feels like its issues just aren't being addressed.
The idea that some LA Greenie or some San Francisco liberal is more caring for this land than we are is nonsense.
There's plenty to talk about when Jefferson state activists gather at a local restaurant. For Mike Duguay, Jefferson is a concrete solution to the region's remoteness.
We are being governed from the urban areas, which are not familiar with our issues, and you get this heavy-handedness coming down from afar.
Meantime, Jefferson exists on novelties at the local hardware store, like mugs and hats.
Got the mesh type and then the complete cloth type.
But the Chamber of Commerce's Mark Dean thinks it's an ideal that transcends T-shirts.
Yreka is a very special place, and I think we here in Yreka represent all the good things that America was meant to be.
Coming up,